Hey everybody, Keith Hilson at the Trombone Shop at Schmidt Music back with another instrument review for you. And today we're going to be looking at another model from Eastman. We know now that Eastman has become a real household name in a lot of ways with so much of the great work that they've done with their student and intermediate level instruments, and of course a lot of their collaborations with SE Shires as well, and what that has brought to the table. We know in certain markets, for example tubas, they've really been getting attention on the professional level, but on the trombone side, their intermediate level instruments continue to be exceptionally popular. So today I'm going to be looking at a model of theirs that we've not had in the shop as much, but I think brings a lot to the table, specifically the Eastman ETB528G. So this is essentially kind of a base model of their 828 series. So I'm going to take a play on this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. I'm going to be playing all of this today on a Bach 5G. As I mentioned in the beginning, Eastman has really developed into a household name in the brass world. A lot of this has to do with their ongoing collaboration with SE Shires and what that collaboration has brought to the table in terms of not only quality of instrument design, but in quality of construction as well. And so we've seen a number of their models in the trombone world that have really gained a lot of attention. In particular, here for us in the shop, their 800 series. So this is the 828 or 829, which is very much a Shires-inspired design in a lot of ways here. We've had, though, just recently in the shop, we've had their 528 series come in. And what this is really is it's the 828 series, but just pared back a little bit. And when I say pared back, not really in terms of the overall design, but in just in a few of the features. The 828 series and the 829 series, the axial full series versus the 828, which is the rotary valve version, these have a few of the Shires really inspiring components, in particular the ability to remove the bell. Now, of course, we understand with the axial flows that that's a necessity, but with the rotary valve option, the 828 series does still have the removable bell option. It also does have interchangeable lead pipes as well. Now, in an intermediate instrument, that is certainly a really, really beneficial feature, especially the lead pipes. We certainly use that in the shop to help kind of custom fit the instrument to the player. The removable bell option is certainly nice with the rotary valves. Not that we see a lot of folks who are interchanging the instruments. And as a quick side note, the Eastmans are not interchangeable with custom Shires components. So it doesn't really let you combine like that there. But, you know, there are a few nice features. However, what I found in my experience with the 528 series is they're nice, but just the base model without that also plays really, really well. And again, in a lot of ways, this is going to be kind of the typical Shires design. So this particular one is the 528G. So this has an 8.5-inch gold brass bell, yellow brass tuning slide, yellow brass outer slide tubed with a nickel silver crook, more of the Shires-inspired wide hand slide design, standard rotor design here. And it plays really, you know, like I would expect kind of the 828 series. It's interesting in a way, compared to the 828, it does have a little bit different, I'd say maybe slightly lighter response. And frankly, that kind of makes sense a little bit where, you know, we have a little bit less material. Even those little collars on there and even the removable lead pipe, you know, that does change the mass of the instrument a little bit. And so to me, what I found is these have just a ever so slightly lighter timbre, but that also means, at least for me, that I think their response is different. I'm not going to say it's necessarily better, but it is a little bit different response. They click a little bit quicker with that. You know, as we can hear in the Peasley Arrows of Time, you know, they do have some versatility to the sound. You know, as I would expect to hear with a lot of intermediate instruments, there's a depth, a nuance to the sound that these don't really have. That's one of the things that makes a difference when we're moving from that intermediate to professional to custom professional, are those little changes in the complexity of the sound, in the subtleties of the moving between partials, in articulation, etc. So this is not going to have the same depth of sound as I would expect out of an SE Shires, or maybe even like the Shires Q series. But it does bring a lot to the table. I find that, you know, in the upper register, it's very responsive. As I was going up to the C's and, you know, even a little bit beyond, I didn't feel like I was pushing at all. I didn't feel like I had to work any harder than I would want to for all of that. And the lower register still stayed nicely responsive. Again, I had to approach it a little bit differently. I can't play it like I'm playing, you know, a Shires, for example, where I'm going to be putting a lot of air in, expecting a lot of mass to come out. I do have to be a little bit more delicate in my response, but for a lot of growing, maturing players, that's not necessarily a bad thing. What we found in general with the Eastmans is that they're instruments that really do seem to fit a lot of, you know, maturing players and help them continue growing in their abilities here. So, like I said, I think overall it's got all of the Eastman craftsmanship and quality that we've really come to appreciate here in the shop. And the nice thing is, because we, you know, don't have the removable bell, because we don't have the lead pipes, it does bring the price point down a little bit. So I think it makes a really great design even a little bit more accessible for folks. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video here. If you have any questions, have any comments about what we talked about today, what you heard today, feel free to leave those below here. If you liked the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you as part of the family here. And as always, you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. So thanks for watching, everybody.